Hi everybody, Rechief here, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Let's Play Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth Prosecutor's Path Episodes 1 through 5 Beta. I had some interesting technical difficulties when I was halfway through recording this episode just a moment ago, so now I'm going to play through a not insubstantial amount of the game over again. Hope you enjoy having that experience with me. That means that I'm already going to be aware of some twists and turns, so sorry if I don't seem especially surprised by the things that happen going forward. Anyway, let's find out what happened with Lotta Hart together, except for me, I'm doing it over again. So it's kind of like I saw a movie, and I liked it so many times that I decided that I would see it with you, all of you guys, again. Let's go. I'll have you know, I wasn't just laid up behind this statue the entire time. Then where were you in the beginning? The beginning? Well, don't you worry yourself about that, you hear? So she was hiding behind the statue the entire time. I watched the folks coming in while lurking in the shadows, all secret agent-like. Note to self, secret agents like to lurk in the shadows. And then, they used that lift over there to get down to the auction site. After they all went down, I watched the whole thing from the lift. Did that lift stay down the entire time? No, it came back up, but there's a tiny gap in the floor there. There's a bit of space between the floor and the lift platform, you see. So I could see just about everything that was going on down there. Then did you see the person who was conducting the auction? Huh? Well, yeah, you betcha I did. What kind of story would this be if I didn't know who the conductor was? The conductor, It seems I'll need to ask you for more details. Do you have any more information about this so-called conductor? You know, I came here to get me a scoop. What makes you think I'll give up my info to you all willy-nilly? Basically, what you're saying is you don't know. Ah, I see. So that's why she won't answer. What can I say? I couldn't even tell how old they were, or if they were a guy or a gal. Can you tell me what the person was wearing at the time? They had on a white jacket with a purple flower, and they were wearing white gloves. But you know, that don't mean much when I have no earthly clue who they really are. So the conductor's identity was hidden, just like the participants. That's right. They had on a mask and voice changer, just like everyone else. What kind of mask did this person wear? It was a Zervin mask, I reckon. Zervin? What in blazes is that supposed to be? Mr. Edgeworth, you don't know about Zervin? He's the sworn enemy of the global hero Anyan Kopon. Zervin, the ruler of time. Seriously, who hasn't heard of him? Most people, I'd imagine. Since the conductor wore a mask, I assume you were not able to see their face. Not even a teeny-weeny bit. And after I came all this way for my big scoop... This whole story's turning out to be nothing but fool's gold. Conductor's clothes jotted down in my organizer. That set of clothes seems familiar. Perhaps I should show her that piece of evidence. Now, when I was last playing this, I thought he meant the purple flower, because, the conductor was wearing a purple flower. Actually, they just want me to show her fucking Jill Crane's body. Because the conductor is, in fact, our pal Jill. You said the conductor wore a white jacket with a purple flower and white gloves. That's right. They sure look spiffy for a criminal mastermind. Miss Hart, did they look anything like this? Hey, that's it. That's the conductor. Hold your horses. Are you telling me the conductor is dead? She's the victim of a case we are investigating. Her name is Jill Crane. Have you heard of her? Can't say I have. So she was a lady, huh? What kind of gal dresses like that? She get her kicks by fooling me into thinking she's a guy? I doubt that her intention was to deceive you. Setting that aside, we've established something of major importance. The victim was the conductor of the black market auction. I see. So the conductor was killed. Then that might explain... Explain what, Miss Hart? Huh. No. It's nothing honest. Miss Hart, you clearly sounded suspicious just now. And I'm telling ya I ain't. Huh. Can't be. Sorry, were you trying to say something? No, I ain't. I ain't said nothing. Please don't be like that. Just tell us. How many times do I gotta tell y'all? I'm a journalist. Information is what pays the bills. I can't just go around spouting everything I know. I've already said too much. I got nothing left to say to y'all. Then, what if I found some fingerprints for you? What good would that do me? I don't want none of your dusty old prints. Why don't you two follow my example and do some investigating on your own? Ooh, I guess she won't tell us anything. Not to worry, Emma. Just leave it to me. I have a certain method of drawing out information from those who wish to hide it. If my opponent's lips are sealed, I will be the one to unseal them. Let us begin. Ooh. I never get tired of that. First, let's analyze my opponent's demeanor. I ain't telling you nothing, so quit wasting my time. She seems rather impatient, as if she's trying to cut off the conversation. I must be careful with my time. I won't have long to consider my responses. Ooh, boy, is that true, as you'll see momentarily. I'm almost certain that she's hiding something from me. That's where I'll begin my attack. Now, time for the first move. Let's calm down and talk this over. Don't you think you're overreacting a bit? Let's just calm down. I'm always calm. Now leave me alone. Oh, whoops. I'm dumb. I've done this already, and I forgot to wait and see. Oh my god. Haven't you realized it yet? I have you cornered! What are you yapping about? All you're doing is wasting my time. Ugh. A wasted remark. Holy shit! Miss Hart is getting increasingly impatient, as if she's trying to cut off the conversation. I must be careful with my time. I won't have long to consider my responses. A real journalist always keeps her cool. Speaking of journalists, I have something interesting to tell you. A few days ago, I met another self-proclaimed journalist. She spoke with an accent quite similar to your own. She spoke like me? And maybe it was... Nicole Swift. She had a distinct way of speaking, one very much like your own. Furthermore, she said that she had a mentor. Could she have been referring to you? Boom! Oh, so you know Nicole. Well, ain't that a fun little coincidence? Where'd y'all meet? Wait, no! Stop trying to get me to spill the beans. Phew, that was a close call. It seems that she lets down her guard when she talks about Miss Swift. This could be a useful clue. I want you to tell me everything that you know right now. No way, Jose. I ain't spilling my guts to someone I have no connection with. Perhaps I should use that clue. Whew, man, cutting it close. You say I have no connection with you, Miss Hart. But don't we have a mutual acquaintance with your apprentice? Well, that's... I reckon it would be mighty cruel of me to give Nicole's friends the cold shoulder. Then why don't you share with us what you know? Well, when you put it like that, I guess I could let you in on my No! I ain't falling for your nasty tricks, no siree. Your SCU? No, just forget it. It ain't nothing important. Do you have a scooter? No. Such a slip of the tongue. It's hardly becoming of a journalist. You have a scoop, don't you? Now tell us what it is. All right. You got me. I had me a perfect scoop. But I ain't telling you what it is. I'm gonna sell the story to a publisher. The information she's hiding could be vital to the investigation. I need to make her talk. Next, I will press her on the contents of her scoop. Whew. She may be quick to lose her temper, but she's even quicker to loosen her tongue. She is not a difficult opponent. Now to extract the information I need. Does this scoop of yours have something to do with the black market auction? Oh, what are you talking about? I don't know nothing about that. Weren't you in the middle of infiltrating the black market auction? The only logical conclusion is that your story has something to do with it. You ain't getting any answers from me. I didn't hear nothing. You didn't hear what exactly? Did you hear something during the auction? No, that's... I just heard a weird sound is all. It ain't even worth mentioning in my article. Just forget about it. There's no question. Something happened during the black market auction. She heard a strange sound. This could be a useful clue. Does your story pertain to an incident of some kind? Well, maybe it does, and maybe it doesn't. That's hardly a clear answer. Why are you always hollering at me? I ain't done nothing wrong. I just snuck in to do some investigative reporting. You didn't do anything wrong. That's a bold statement. Considering you're currently trespassing on private property. Hey! You're doing it too! Well, I guess a prosecutor's got the right to investigate wherever they please. I probably shouldn't mention anything about the current state of my employment. There are far worse people in the world, you know. I reckon I'm a saint, compared to folks who murder. Don't tell me you committed a murder! No, definitely not. Considering what you've just mumbled, is it possible your scoop has something to do with a murder incident? Hey, I was only talking in general terms just now. I mean, anyone looked like a bag of roses compared to a murderer, right? It sounds like you're just making excuses to me. All I did was gather info on the black market auction. A murder incident? I don't know anything about that. I ain't seen or heard nothing. Perhaps I should use that clue. Didn't you say you heard something strange during the auction? If it stuck out to you so much, it must not have been a sound that you would normally hear. For example, the screams of a murder victim. How do you keep figuring everything out so quick? Because I already played this part, Lotta. I'm sorry. I'm sort of cheating. I'm accidentally cheating because of problems that I ran into in my previous recording. I'm sorry. Don't look so sad. That's right. I stumbled upon a murder in the middle of my stakeout. But please don't make me say any more. This is the biggest scoop I've had in a while. The murder that she overheard. It's most likely the same incident we are currently investigating. This is bound to be crucial information. I'll finish this by confirming the credibility of her information. She has nowhere left to run. It's time to deal the final blow. Okay, good. Yeah, that was the right one. Did you really stumble upon a murder? You calling me a liar? Them's fighting words. I'm a bona fide journalist. I would never publish lies in my articles. Faster and more accurate than anyone. That's my motto. A motto? This could be a useful clue. I should keep it in mind. Tell me what you know about the murder incident in full detail. Well, my memory ain't what it used to be. Not much I can talk about. I ain't the most attentive gal in the world, you see. Perhaps I should use that clue. I'd hardly expect a bona fide journalist to be so inattentive. Didn't you just say your motto is to be faster and more accurate than anyone? Well, that's... As I expected. The credibility of your information is suspect. But I know what I heard. I even got proof. You have proof? How is that possible? Explain yourself at once. I got me some evidence. Wait, you heard that? Oh, well, I was just talking to myself. Y'all just go on and pay it no mind. It seems she's still hiding something. Hiding something. There we go. This is an important clue. I'll need to use it effectively. Tell me the truth. I know you're still hiding something from me. I ain't hiding nothing from nobody. I already done told you everything I know. Perhaps I should use that clue. Isn't there something you haven't told me yet? You have evidence regarding the incident you witnessed. Something definitive enough to publish in an article. Yeah. What in tarnation? Let me off the hook already. Fine. I'll tell you everything. I'll even show you the photo I took I'll even show you the photo I took if you stop harassing me. That good enough for you? Checkmate. Alright. I lost. I really lost. The mouth of the South has been defeated. Now then, it's time to come clean. Tell me everything that you know. I was watching the auction, gathering info for my story. You didn't just watch, though. You got shocking photos, too, right? A little while after the auction started, someone won a bid and the conductor banged the gavel. Someone hollered, "We'll finish the deal upstairs," or something like that. That ain't good, I thought to myself as I hurried back to hide behind the statue. Did you see whoever came up? Not quite, but I reckon the feller that came up was the winner of the bid. I could smell the buttery aroma of big fat wads of cash. Buttery aroma? I can't imagine that at all. I reckon this room is where the bidders ponied up the dough for their purchases. The two of them talked for a while. Wait, there was a second person in the storeroom? You betcha. I reckon it was the conductor. And then out of nowhere, one of them started screaming. I almost scared my britches off. I rolled myself up into a ball and kept on laying low. So you witnessed the murder? Well, I wouldn't say that I witnessed it, but I definitely heard it though. Didn't you try to stop them? Just stop right there. That ain't even funny. What's a dainty little thing like me gonna do? Dainty. That's all you need to say. After that, I heard me some rustling and bustling. The whole time I was really regretting coming here something fierce. Well, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, but nothing gets in the way of Lotta Hart and her photos. This was my big scoop. Ain't no way I was gonna let it slip away. A bit later, I hear this loud thud. I figured it was my last chance to snap a photo from behind the statue. Well then, would you please show us the photo? Oh, why do I have to? This is the person in the red raincoat who attacked Kay. The person in the red raincoat assaulted the victim in the storeroom, and then attacked Kay on the roof. Lotta's photo data jotted down in my... There's only one person in this photo. Where is the victim? Probably on the floor. Yeah, I thought it was strange too, or maybe not. I could have sworn there were two of them, but when I looked, there was only the one. But that's gotta be the killer, don't you reckon? So, she's saying the victim disappeared. Okay. You were able to tell this person was the culprit just by looking. Their hand was stained bright red, so I figured it was them. What happened to the auction after the murder? Nothing really. Just went on like normal. I guess those rich folks didn't give a hoot. They got some nerve. The nerve of a journalist is nothing to scoff at either. Lotta's testimony jotted down in my organizer. Oh, okay. Just over just like that. Well, what do we have in Logic Town? In the storeroom during the auction, and the storeroom move one at a time, exited the same way. I am not certain that I can really tie these two together quite yet, unless it's like, you know, unless it has something to do with like how the victim left the storeroom. Let's just try it for fun. I've got plenty of attorney life force. Oh, okay. If we assume that the murder took place in this storeroom... incidentally, I'm now at a point where I'm playing blind again. I don't know what's going to happen from here on out. Then we must conclude that the body was here as well. Huh? Isn't that pretty obvious? Yeah, I thought so too, Emma. Do you remember how the participants left the auction? Oh. Of course. They'd passed through this storeroom on the way back from the auction. Exactly. The culprit had to hide the body so the participants wouldn't discover it. The real question is, where was the body hidden? Good question. Ema, would you mind lending me a hand? Leave it to me. What do you want me to do? Let's see. Use your luminol reagent to test for a blood reaction. If you would, please. Okay, let me show you the power of science! I don't know if any of you guys out there are fighting game fans, but there's this great series of anime fighters called BlazBlue, and there's this really big character, like a robot character in that named Iron Tiger, who, when he like suplexes you or uses certain moves, he goes, "The power of science!" And so every time I hear something about like science and power, I just think of that. Fun little Ricci fact. I like fighting games. Probably not going to play too many of them on this channel, because it's not really, you know, necessarily something that I want to record and stick on here, but got that in the old noggin now. You'll never forget that as long as you live. Here we go. The glint in her eyes... Sorry. The glint in her eyes is getting brighter by the second. Let's start by examining that ladder over there. Based on Miss Hart's picture, the person in the red raincoat headed towards that ladder. Chances are, something will turn up if we check there. Just touch anything you want to examine. If you do that, you'll be able to spray the luminol reagent at it. Ah. If there's a blood stain on the spot where you sprayed, you'll get a reaction like this. Even so, ugh. No matter how many times I see blood stains, they're always so gruesome. There's a blood reaction here, but it's kind of faint. Let's spray it with luminol 2 or 3 more times so it'll be nice and clear. You can see it clearly now. Ugh, looks even more gruesome than before. Do you understand how to look for bloodstains now? There are probably a few more bloodstains here, so why don't you give it a try, Mr. Edgeworth? Okay. Select area via touch. Oh, I have to touch now. Okay. Well... maybe like the mask type situation? Oh. Well, no, that box would be way too thin to hide a body in anyway. Well, welcome to another riveting episode of Let's Play Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth Prosecutor's Path. Today, Chief fucking sprays a bunch of luminol around. Okay, I guess they don't actually want me to, like, really check out that bloodstain. Well, I guess I'll just, kind of go all the way around here. See if we get any. Aha! Let's search the rest of the storeroom for bloodstains just like that. First, let's look for a place to spray the luminol reagent. Ooh, I got a little extra button here. Oh, well, let's spray it here. Please examine the places you want to spray luminol on. Oh, I see. You want to examine this spot? I do. Let's spray luminol on every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Oh, she's taken after her prosecutor daddy. Prosecutor uncle, whatever. Yeah. Mr. Edgeworth! There's a bloodstain here, too. However, why is there a bloodstain in a place like this? Maybe something that had blood on it was stored inside. Cool. Mr. Edgeworth, there are places we still haven't checked yet, so let's continue our investigation. But oh, I can't even use logic right now. Okay. How about the elevator? You want to examine this spot? Let's spray luminol in every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Man, this is going to be a bloody murder if I just find bloodstains all over the place. Check that out. Mr. Edgeworth, there's a reaction. It's a bloodstain. But why in a place like this? Perhaps this was where the murder took place. Ah, it looks like some of the blood dripped down to the floor below. That's gross. Blood on hidden lift data jotted down in my organizer. Oh, because the floor below is the PIC, like, hearing area. And I feel like I remember that at one point they were like, oh, there's blood here? Why is there blood here? Do I have, like, evidence of that somewhere? No. That's fine. Looks like we found all the bloodstains in the storeroom. Oh, that's fast. It seems like we have investigated the storeroom sufficiently. I think I've got something here. Yeah, I do. The reason why we found a bloodstain in the costume trunk is because the murderer hid the body in that box. I wonder who won the bid for it. The trunk, I mean. That I don't know. In a certain way, everything worked out exactly as someone wanted. Hold it! Hold it! It couldn't have been in that dressing box. What do you mean? When I first came down here, that box caught my eye too. It was just the right size and would have made the perfect hiding place. That's what I thought anyway. But I couldn't get the dang thing to open. It had been wrapped up real tight with a locked chain. The murder happened after that, so hiding a body in there would have been impossible, you know? A chain wrapped around it. That's a bit strange. Right now, it doesn't seem to be locked up at all. Huh? That's weird. Maybe my eyes were playing tricks on me or something. Costume trunk data jotted down in my organizer. And with that, I believe we have examined everything there is to examine here. Well then, let's head on down. Oh, have we decided on our next destination? Hey, Kay! Yes, Mr. Shields? We wouldn't want you to get lost, so make sure you stay real close to Uncle Ray, okay? Ugh, you fucking creep. Right. I'll follow you closely, Mr. Shields. These two, since when did they get along like that? Interesting. So a hidden elevator leads us all the way down to the PIC meeting room. What new fresh facts are we going to discover there? Find out next time on Let's Play Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth Prosecutor's Path episodes 1 through 5 beta. Until then, all these people are going to be crammed into that elevator, and they'll just have to sit there and deal with that until we resume with the next episode. At least Ray and Kay are separated because he's kind of pervy. I've been talking with my roommate about kind of what we think Ray's arc is going to be altogether, and like whether or not he's as good of a guy as he seems, or if there's something sinister going on with him. And like every time he hits on Kay, whoops, tapped the wrong thing. Every time he hits on Kay, I just think to myself, I hope he's evil. Guess we'll find out. Bye.